CBS47 Action News Jax begins with breaking news.
Within the last 20 minutes, the FBI has confirmed they're searching a landfill in Charlton County in connection to a missing woman's case. Action News Jax has been telling you since October when Susan Malden was last seen. The Clay County Sheriff's Office is also assisting in that search. Now, we told you earlier this month when Corey Binderham was named a person of interest in her case. He was later arrested on unrelated fraud charges. Police say Susan Malden hired him to remodel her bathroom. He's being held in the Duval County Jail right now. Of course, we'll continue to follow the latest developments all day long.
And right now, we want to give you a live look from downtown Jacksonville. Temperatures are starting to rebound a little, climb out of the upper 20s and 30s that we saw around the viewing area just a few hours ago. The First Alert Weather Team is tracking more frigid weather, though, on the way. But right now, if you take a look at our temperature map on the left-hand side of your screen, you're going to see that most of us are still in the 40s this noon, and temperatures aren't expected to get much warmer than that. Welcome to Action News Jax at noon, everyone. I'm Dawn Lopez.
And I'm Phil Amato. Look at him go there. You can see to the left of us, we're expected to fall into the 20s in our area by tonight. So, of course, you want to have that coat nearby. Action News Jax has complete team coverage on the cold weather today. We begin with First Alert meteorologist Corey Sima. And Corey, we have a wind chill advisory and a freeze warning in effect until tomorrow.
You know, it was cold this morning, and it's only going to get a little bit colder. The freeze warning includes everybody but coastal Duval and coastal St. Johns County. This is for temperatures down to about 30 degrees. So if you're west of I-95, you're going to want to bring inside those tender plants tonight, and all of southeast Georgia is included in that freeze warning. Right now, it is manageable, but it's cold. It's 45 at JIA, 45 at Mayport, and 47 right now in Ortega. We have that wind too. It's making it feel like the 30s. Those wind speeds between about 10 and 15 plus 20 miles per hour. The sunshine is nice, but it just doesn't really mask the fact that it's cold. A little bit of cloud cover there on the horizon as we're looking live from our Riverside First Alert Skycam network out over beautiful downtown Jacksonville. I am timing out the feels like temperatures down into the 20s tonight, plus a much needed warming trend in the First Alert 7-day forecast.
New this noon, investigators tell Action News Jax this fire in Panama Park was sparked by someone just trying to keep warm. We first showed you how intense the flames got as breaking news just this morning on our newscast. Action News Jax Brittany Donovan picks up our cold weather team coverage now with why firefighters have been out to this home 3 separate times this morning.
JFRD is back out here on Russell Street for the 3rd time today. They're putting out a hot spot inside the home. And now we're getting a closer look inside. You can see a lot of debris on the ground, a lot of damage throughout this house.
Look at that. Oh my God, I hope no one's in there.
Scary moments for a Jacksonville woman as she saw a home go up in flames.
And there was like some kind of crackling noise, and I look up and it was just huge.
She watched as firefighters worked to put out the fire on East 63rd and Russell Street. When we got there at 4 a.m., investigators were picking through the debris. A canine searched for any signs of what started it.
It's a cold night in an abandoned house, you know. Maybe someone just trying to get some shelter and some heat started a little fire and it got out of control.
JFRD confirmed they believe someone was inside the house trying to stay warm when the fire started. That's despite these no trespassing signs we found on the window. I asked the city if the house is abandoned. They're working to get me an answer. The entire back of the house was destroyed. As the fire marshal works to figure out the exact cause, neighbors tell me they're glad it didn't spread to the church next door.
Jacksonville Fire Department, bless them, they were here in less than 2 minutes.
If you take a look at the roof of this house, you can see just how high those flames reached. I'm asking the city what families can do if they see people going in and out of a home that's abandoned. I'll let you know what I find out tonight at 5. Reporting in Panama Park, Brittany Donovan, CBS 47, Action News Jax.
A local heating and air company is reporting an uptick in service calls as temperatures drop. Snyder Heating and Air says it received more than 300 calls Monday. That's double the call volume they normally get. They say it'll only get busier, too, through the week. The company says there are things you can do on your own to keep your system from breaking down.
Getting it serviced every 6 months is very recommended. Making sure that there's nothing built up around the outside unit. Leaves, grass, anything like that should be removed to let it breathe.
They also recommend changing your air filter every 6 weeks.
Right now in Lake City, there's an alert to find a young teenage runaway. Police tell us that Kelsey Wolf ran off after an argument with her grandfather. She was last seen in the parking lot of the Interface Youth Program. She's 13 years old. She has red hair, blue eyes. She was last seen wearing a black jacket and blue jeans. If you've seen this teen, call police right away.
The impeachment trial is scheduled to get underway within the hour now, and we're getting better insight into what to expect. Action News Jack's Blair Miller is in our Washington, D.C. bureau on what will happen today on the Senate floor.
I think you're going to hear a lot of passion on both sides. Today's focus is on the rules of the trial. Democrats just held a news conference this morning. They're very upset with the proposed rules, accusing Republicans of a cover-up here. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is calling for 12-hour days, so the trial could go until 1 o'clock in the morning. The rules, if approved, will give the House impeachment members and the president's legal team each 24 hours to make their opening arguments. Of course, they'll be voting on those rules today, so expect a date on both sides. Republicans are ready to acquit the president pretty quickly, but if just 4 senators go along with Democrats on some of this to hear witnesses or see more evidence, that would extend everything. I think we have a long way to go before we even get to those votes. Starting mainly with today, we have to get through the rules of the trial first. In Washington, Blair Miller, CBS 47, Action News Jax.
Unless there are hiccups in today's vote on the rules, Democrats will give their opening statements tomorrow and Thursday. It could go past midnight. President Donald Trump's legal team would make their statements on Friday and Saturday. Next Monday would start 16 hours of questions from senators.
Now, when the trial starts, Action News Jack's news partners, 104.5 WOKV, will stream the impeachment trial uninterrupted. Just download the WOKV app. It's free right there in your app store.
New this noon, Jacksonville is the 3rd largest Florida city when it comes to human trafficking, only behind Tampa and Miami. That's according to the National Human Trafficking Hotline. The sheriff and the mayor say that they are working right now to get Jacksonville off this list altogether. Action News Jack's Courtney Cole joins us live right now from downtown Jacksonville at the sheriff's office. Courtney, Sheriff Mike Williams says 19 victims were rescued locally in 2019.
And 4 of those victims were kids. That's why JSO Sheriff Mike Williams, the mayor, and even some city leaders, they just wrapped up in the last 30 minutes, and they are pleading with the community to please help them fight against human trafficking. And the easiest thing they say you can do is just that if you see something, say something. Now, the sheriff went on to say that there were 34 arrests and 3 federal indictments in local human trafficking cases. So that means we're talking about cases right here in our own backyard here in Jacksonville. And while many may think of human trafficking suspects as only being men, State Attorney Melissa Nelson says they're now seeing it spread across gender norms, and that's important.
We're starting to see more and more female traffickers. 5 female defendants in this area have been charged with human trafficking related offenses.
Now we're taking a closer look into what human trafficking offenders are using to control victims instead of force, and a new database that's set to make its debut in 2021 that you'll have access to that's going to identify the bad guys participating in human trafficking. I'll have that for you on Action News Jax at 5:30. Reporting live at JSO, Courtney Cole, CBS 47, Action News Jax.
A man is in custody this noon after being accused of crashing into a car and killing a local father more than a year ago. State troopers say Brian Holtzkamp was trying to leave Nassau County following that crash. He was arrested Friday. In 2018, FHP says Holtzkamp was driving on US 17 in Yulee when he moved to the other lane and hit another car head-on. Investigators say Justin Cribb, who is also known as Kyle, died. They say he leaves behind a 13-year-old boy. Holtkamp is facing charges now, like DUI manslaughter. Hundreds of parents, students, and teachers in Florida are rallying in Tallahassee today to thank lawmakers for their support of the Gardner Scholarship Program. The scholarship serves more than 13,000 students in the state with special needs, including some right here in Jacksonville. It has a wait list, too, of more than 3,500 students. Teachers say for the 3rd year in a row, the demand outweighs available funds. Today, teachers will ask the legislature to increase funding. Action News Jax was there last February when Governor Ron DeSantis announced the state would fund that scholarship. The legislature set aside $147.9 million to that program last year. 25 students at North Florida School of Special Education used the scholarship to help pay their tuition. And last February, there were more than 2,000 families on the wait list.
Each parent of a special needs child has, different economic means. And to not be able to send your child to a school like this, where you can really educate them, it's a tough thing.
Action News Jax is working to learn if the school is also seeing an increase in demand for the scholarship.
Today is the last day to try and win, Mom, Dad, your kid, a 4-year scholarship to college. So Florida's First Lady Casey DeSantis is hosting a Black History Month student contest, and the theme is celebrating untold stories and contributions of African Americans in Florida. Students in grades K through 3rd can participate in this art contest. Students in grades 4th through 12 can participate in an essay contest. Full-time teachers can be nominated for the Black History Month Excellence in Education Award. Now again, today is the last day to enter. For more information and qualifications, go online to actionnewsjax.com. Look under the Action button.
I'm Action News Jax meteorologist Corey Sima. Bitter cold morning today, and we got a couple more to talk about. That freezing face emoji probably really popular. A much needed warming trend. Plus, I'm tracking the next storm system in the First Alert 7-day forecast.
Still ahead, the fight for gun rights takes center stage in our state capital, what 30 local governments are calling for.
And history being made in this year's Super Bowl. Coming up, the woman whose name will also make headlines, and we'll tell you why.
What to watch tonight, brought to you by Ashley Home Store.
Welcome back. Your time right now, 12:14. A beach's favorite is shutting down for good. Phil, you've said it over and over. Not the Luckies.
Not Luckies. Sad to hear that this morning. Action News Jack's Beth Russo joins us live at the Luckies on Atlantic Boulevard there at the beach. And Beth, employees there say the store is closing on February 12th.
And we've seen a steady stream of customers heading inside Lucky's Market to shop in the 90 minutes that we've been here. I do want to walk over here and show you, though. It's in the same plaza here in Neptune Beach as the Kmart that's already shut down. Neighbors say it has them wondering what's next. Chris Bocklett buys his groceries at this Lucky's Market on Atlantic Boulevard.
I moved to Lucky's just because they have good produce and good organic section.
An employee tells Action News Jax the store will close February 12th. I've reached out to the store's owners to confirm. The news comes as a surprise to the customers we've seen showing up to shop.
The two spots that I go to, Native and then this Lucky's, is now closing. It's definitely a bummer for the area, I think.
Action News Jax told you in 2019 when Native's Sun announced it was shutting down after 23 years. Bocklett says that's when he started shopping here.
It's a total bummer. I feel like there's not a lot of fresh produce places here. They had Native Sun. Now that Lucky's is closing, I really don't know where to go next. Publix is not my number one.
He tells me it seems to be a trend.
It seems like the grocery store, I don't know why that is, but yes, they're definitely, they seem to be opening up and then closing pretty soon, so it's sad to see.
This store is one of 20 locations in the state of Florida. As I mentioned, I did reach out to the store for confirmation of this location closing, and I'm working to learn what's next for the other locations. All of that part of the story, all new on Action News Jax at 5. We're live in Neptune Beach this afternoon. Beth Russo, Action News Jax.
More than 30 local governments in Florida are suing the state in an attempt to pass gun regulation. Local officials can face up to $5,000 fines or be removed from office for trying to pass gun regulations. Their city can also be held responsible for damages. While some believe the penalty should stand, others feel like they're just a step too far.
Just the mere fact that they're opposing the penalties, they're saying, yes, we want to break state law. There has to be some punishment.
Our local governments should have the power to see a problem that's in their community and act.
And though the penalties have been ruled unconstitutional by the circuit court, the state has appealed the ruling to the 1st District Court of Appeals.
New at noon, a woman will coach in this year's Super Bowl for the first time in history. Katie Sowers is an offensive coach on the 49ers. She joined the team back in 2016. She also became the only coach to openly express she was gay. She is the second woman to ever coach in the NFL. Action News Jax has you covered for the Super Bowl this year. It's happening a week from Sunday and starts on Fox 30 with the Action Sports Jax Making of a Champion coverage. There will also be special coverage on Saturday. Kickoff is set at 6:30 on Fox 30.
Now, certified Jacksonville's most accurate forecast. Action News Jax First Alert Weather.
The chills multiplying here across northeast Florida, southeast Georgia. A wind chill advisory takes effect midnight tonight, lasting through tomorrow morning for all of northeast Florida. This is for feels like temperatures, not a typo, between 15 and 25 degrees. So let's time out that feels like temperature hour by hour. Feels like 38 at 5 o'clock this evening. Yeah, it's going to stay cold and feel cold with the breezes the rest of the day today, with middle 30s up in inland southeast Georgia. 10 p.m. tonight, we're down into the upper 20s with that feels like temperature in southeast Georgia. Jacksonville feeling like 30, and then even lower by tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Wednesday, 23 the feels like temperature in Waycross, and feeling like 24 in Jacksonville. If you thought this morning was cold, you got another one coming for you, because that wind is just going to pick up a little bit more over the next several hours. Live look outside this noon here at Jacksonville Beach on the Action News Jax First Alert Skycam Network. Nice little line of just these short cumulus clouds that we got swinging in from the north. With that breeze, it is 45 at Jax Beach, but it feels colder than that because of the north wind at 18 miles per hour. You can see the clouds here on our visible satellite imagery here. This is pretty cool. You can see them diving down to the south, and they're just scraping along the coast of northeast Florida. We also have some high thin clouds between Valdosta and Jacksonville. They're just going to swing across Northeast Florida, Southeast Georgia through the afternoon. So hour by hour, temperatures just stuck there in the 40s in Northeast Florida. For Jacksonville, Mayport, and St. Augustine, in the middle 40s still by your evening commute. In Southeast Georgia, Brunswick, St. Simons Island, Waycross, either side of about 45 by 2 p.m. and then 5 o'clock, just a little bit cooler than that, between about 43 and 45 degrees. A much needed warming trend is in view. That's the good news. But we do stay pretty cool on Wednesday and Thursday, with temperatures finally making it up into the 70s by Friday and Saturday. And this time period, late week and at least the first part of the weekend, will be also the time we're tracking our next storm system. We stay dry on Tuesday and Wednesday. There will be sunshine, so that'll be nice. And then the temperatures start to go up Thursday and Friday, but our rain opportunities go up too. Some coastal showers on Thursday and then some evening showers on Friday. That is our next storm system that swings through just in time for the weekend, which is always in view in the First Alert 7-day forecast. 60s on Thursday. I think it's going to feel great after the next couple of days, because we're going to struggle to reach 50 today, and then we have inland freezes tomorrow morning. The morning lows go up too. It gets manageable Friday. 73 Friday afternoon, and then there's your weekend. We're in the 60s with sunshine both afternoons. Remember, you can take that hour-by-hour forecast in the palm of your hand where you go in the free First Alert weather app, and join Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish today at 5 on CBS 47 Fox 30.
Don't be surprised if you notice your child asking for a raise and weekly allowance. Tell the twins just know why experts say your child may be saving better than we do.
They'll give us a loan. Also, the Navy is honoring a war hero. Coming up, the special dedication they're giving to the first African American to get the Navy Cross of Valor.
Oh, well, Venus Williams is out of the Australian Open. She was beaten once again by a 15-year-old Coco Gauff from Delray Beach, Florida. Golf burst onto the world stage at Wimbledon last year with her straight set victory over Venus, and then playing at the Australian Open for the first time as the youngest player in the draw. She finished the 7-game Grand Slam champion to secure her passage now into the second round, Phil.
15 years old. Wow. Well, the Navy is honoring an American hero. They're naming an aircraft carrier after Doris Miller, a ship's cook third class who helped take care of wounded soldiers during the attack on Pearl Harbor. He's the first African American to get the Navy Cross for Valor.
Give the kids a raise. Weekly allowances on the rise. According to Rooster Money, parents are doling out nearly $10 a week.
Stays cold the rest of this evening, and then very cold tomorrow morning. Inland freeze.
Keep out those big jackets. Have a good day, everyone.
Bundle up. YNR's next.